Okay, today we're talking about The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. Now, book is all about why teams fail to work together to get the job done and what you can do about it. So the first dysfunction is trust, as in not having it on your team. So trust is the basis for a healthy, functional team. So that means if your team doesn't have it, if you're not willing to share your strengths and weaknesses, if you're not willing to be vulnerable, then really that creates all of the rest of these dysfunctions. Now, specifically, lack of trust leads to the next dysfunction, which relates to conflict. That is, you don't do conflict well as a team. You're afraid to do conflict. You don't voice your opinions, and as a result, the best decisions aren't made. We're talking about productive conflict, where everyone gets heard and opinions get out there and you don't hurt each other's feelings or get defensive about it all the time. Now, poor conflict leads to dysfunction, and this third dysfunction is buy-in. When you don't do conflict well, when you don't communicate well, then the rest of the team ends up not committing to team decisions. You don't get buy-in from all of the team members. Remember, on a healthy team, consensus isn't the goal. Really what you want is for everyone to be heard and then for everyone to buy in on the decision that the team ends up making. But if you don't do conflict well, then you don't end up getting this kind of buy-in from all the team members, and that leads to the next problem. And that fourth dysfunction is accountability, or not being willing as a team to hold everybody accountable. In a dysfunctional team, when somebody calls out another team member, then that other team member gets defensive or angry about it, and that's clearly dysfunctional. Healthy teams are ones where everyone has buy-in, and therefore you can clearly hold each other accountable to your goals and your roles. Now, the lack of accountability leads to the final dysfunction, and that is a lack of focus. But really what happens is you don't focus on the collective goals that you made back in the boardroom, but instead everybody's focusing on their individual goals. This is why teams fail to work together to get the job done. And you should ask yourself, is this what your team looks like?